You know, Ash getting sent to another dimension by Tapu Koko without Tapu Koko letting him know, what a jerk move. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 100 of Sun and Moon just dropped, and Zeraora finally debuts in the anime. How did it turn out? Well, let's find out. The episode starts with Ash getting out of bed, asking what's for breakfast to Kukui and Burnett, but they aren't there in the house. Instead, they're outside in the ocean, doing some yoga on some surfboards. The color in this shot is beautiful, by the way. The blues of the ocean, the greens of nature, it all looks great here. And this is why I love the beach setting for this show. But don't get used to this, because color-wise, this is as good as it's gonna look for the rest of the episode, and probably next episode as well. But anyways, Ash goes outside and sees Kukui and Burnett and says, "Alola." He asks what they're doing, and they tell him that they are recharging and getting power from nature. Ash is confused by what that means, and they explain to him that even though to Ash this is a familiar view of the beach and nature that he sees regularly, when you think about it, it really is an incredible thing, that all of this is due to Pokemon and people living together. Ash looks around and realizes how incredible that is, and says that he will also get power from nature, and joins them in doing some meditation. Pikachu looking at Munchlax to see how to perform deep breathing is so adorable here. But while they're all meditating, Tapu Koko is watching them. The lightning bolt that slices wind. Its name is Zeraora. Ash is running down the road on the way to get to Pokemon School. Rotom asks him why he's so excited, and Ash responds that he's hyped up to battle Kiawe after school, but as he is running, he stops. It's Tapu Koko. He's appeared in front of Ash and Pikachu. Ash says that he wanted to see Tapu Koko. He's been training for Pony Island and he wants to get stronger, so he wants to battle Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko goes inside the forest and Ash follows him. They go to an empty part of the forest and Tapu Koko uses electric terrain, essentially starting the battle. Ash first attacks using Quick Attack and Tapu Koko dodges. Tapu Koko then uses Dazzling Gleam on Pikachu and Pikachu dodges. Ash then uses Thunderbolt and Tapu Koko responds with its own Thunderbolt. As the Thunderbolts are clashing, we cut to a shiny Tapu Koko on another dimension. It uses Thunderbolt at the sky and it returns and hits it, covering it in itself in electricity. Then, both the shiny Tapu Koko and the overworld Tapu Koko have the electricity surround them expand and explode, causing a hole in space and time that takes Ash and Pikachu away. Rotom opens its eyes and it sees Ash and Pikachu gone and wonders where they went. Ash and Pikachu wake up in a sandy location. At first it looks like Pikachu's hurt, but luckily it's not. They're both surprised at where they're at. The place they're at looks like a desert. That's not where they were. They call out to Tapu Koko and Rotom, but no one responds. Ash thinks that it must be a dream and starts tugging on Pikachu's cheek. Pikachu does not take kindly to this and shocks Ash. Ash apologizes and surmises that they must not be in a dream then. They call for anyone and no one responds. Pikachu then notices a noise from a desolate city in the distance and they decide to have a look over there. They both go investigating and we see shots of a completely ruined building. Ash and Pikachu enter one of these buildings and continue to follow the noise. There, they see a Pokemon and it's eating parts of the building. Ash says that he's never seen anything like it and goes down to take a closer look, but he gets too close and makes a rock fall down, drawing the attention of this Pokemon. It performs a loud roar before starting to chase them, presumably to try and eat them. They run from it as it's destroying the buildings that it's running from, and they come up at a dead end. Ash decides that they must battle it, so he tells Pikachu to use Thunderbolt, and it does. But this Pokemon, whatever it is, eats the Thunderbolt up like it's nothing. Then it counters with something. I tried to look at its moveset and tried to see what move it could have been, but I really couldn't come up with anything. But anyways, it roars and it causes something purple to come out and hit Pikachu and sends it back. Ash catches it before it hits the wall, however. It then sprays acid towards them, presumably either belch or grass or acid. Either way though, it misses Ash and Pikachu, but it does corrode the walls and the floor that it lands on. They decide they have to use their Z move to beat it, but for some reason, it's not working. The Z ring is not activating. It's then about to attack both Ash and Pikachu when all of a sudden they get saved by a trainer who tells this Pokemon to use close combat. It's another yellow Pokemon and Ash and Pikachu have never seen this Pokemon before. Who's that Pokemon? It's Zeraora! Now that Who's That Pokemon segment has gave it its name, I guess I'll refer to it by its name. This is Zeraora, and it's the Pokemon that saves Ash and Pikachu, and its trainer tells it to use Plasma Fist on this other Pokemon. It seems to hurt this Pokemon, but the trainer tells Zeraora and Ash that they are leaving, and that they should focus unless they want to get eaten by this Pokemon. He calls this Pokemon Guzzlord, so Ash and Pikachu both run away from it and go into a door that leads to a tunnel system. For now, it seems that Guzzlord has lost them. As they are crawling down this tunnel, Ash asks this trainer if Guzzlord is what he called this Pokemon, and the trainer confirms it. Ash then asks what the Pokemon that's with him is called. The trainer tells Ash to be quiet unless they want to get caught by Guzzlord. As they are walking, Pikachu smiles at Zeraora, but it does not reciprocate. They come out of a trash can from the underground, and Ash introduces himself. The trainer also introduces himself and is Zeraora. His name is Dia. Ash says that the move Zeraora used, Plasma Fist, was pretty cool. Dia tells him though it wasn't enough. Ash then goes over to Zeraora and starts fawning over it. Zeraora turns its back on Ash, but Ash sees its fur on its back and starts grabbing and petting it, saying how bushy it is. Zeraora responds by shocking Ash. Dia then asks Ash what he's doing down there because this is a restricted area, and Ash tells him about how he got there. He asks Dia if Guzzlord is a Pokemon, and Dia says it is in fact an Ultra Beast. We cut to a flashback of Hau'oli City. An officer is walking down the basement of a building when all of a sudden the building begins to break. Out of the cloud of smoke appears Guzzlord, and it proceeds to destroy the city. The Ultra Ranger, the anti-Ultra Beast team, were dispatched to stop it, but even they were powerless. And because they couldn't stop it, everyone had to abandon the island, including the Ultra Rangers. Ash asks why he didn't leave with the others, and he responds that this place used to be lively with Pokemon. He wants to defeat it and make things as they used to be. Also, while he's telling us this, we can see a childhood picture of him with his Litten. Ash says that he's willing to help since he loves Pokemon as well. While they're talking, by the way, Pikachu spots some Alolan Rattata and some Charjabugs and starts playing with them. But anyways, Dia responds to Ash by saying no because he would just hold him back. Ash tells him that he's part of the Ultra Guardians and he's fought Ultra Beasts before. Dia says that this is too dangerous, so he should just drop it. Ash responds by saying that they should battle. If he wins, then he will let him out. And so the battle begins. Ash starts by using a quick attack, and Dia responds with quick attack as well, causing a quick attack that sends sparks and electricity in the air that causes the clouds to light up. Ash then uses Iron Tail, and Zeraora counters with close combat, getting some good hits on Pikachu. Ash then uses Electro Web to trap the Zeraora, followed by Thunderbolt, but Zeraora uses Slash to rip the Electro Web and dodge the Thunderbolt. Zeraora then uses Plasma Fist and hits Pikachu, knocking it out. That was kind of shocking to see. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pikachu does not tend to lose much at all. He has been shown to be very tough and durable, so seeing him being KO'd is kind of surprising. I mean, it's not surprising because it's a mythical Pokemon, but it's just surprising in general. Pikachu then gets up at a later time with the other Pokemons around him. Dia asks Ash how it's doing, and Ash says it's doing fine now. Now that Ash is lost, Dia tells him that he should leave, but Ash tells him that he doesn't know how to leave. Dia tells him that he'll contract the Ultra Rangers and have him pick Ash up tomorrow. Ash asks how he can do that, and he responds that he used to be one of them, but he decided to quit once the Ultra Rangers decided to leave the island. He's only there because of his own selfishness. Ash says he kind of likes that. Ash then calls Pikachu and says they'll find a place to stay for the night, but Dia stops him. He says that they can come to his base because it's dangerous to set up camp randomly with Guzzlord around. He tells Ash that he'll only be staying there until the Ultra Rangers appear. As they're walking down, Ash and Pikachu say that they're starving. Dia hands Ash a bag with some food, but tells him it's just for Pikachu. He hands Pikachu the food, and as they're walking down, we can see a foggy building in the distance, getting closer to a view. It's the Pokemon School, and Ash is shocked. Why? Because he didn't realize he is in Melee Island. That was a great twist, because to us, the audience, it's so obvious, but if you think about it, Ash never realizes it because it never comes up, and that's the end of the episode. The after credit scene is just a slight extension of Rotom reacting to the blast that sent Ash and Pikachu to another time while Tapu Koko looks on. The next episode preview shows another fight between Pikachu and Zeraora. I presume it's to get back to the same conditions that brought Ash to that world, and the battle against Guzzlord continues. This was a pretty good episode. It was very story driven. This is a two-parter, so there are a couple of unanswered questions that hopefully get answered in the next episode, like how did Zeraora come to be, or what happened to the Aether Foundation of this world. There's also a picture that has an alternate version of our gang, so I wonder how they are compared to our gang. Also, it'll be interesting to see the transition between next episode and the episode after that, because the episode after that is the Misty and Brock episode. So to go from episode where Pokemon eats buildings to, hey, Ash and Misty are back, might be a little jarring. The only thing that I didn't like, and I didn't not like, but I wish there was a little bit more of, was the rest of the cast. After all, this is episode 100, so I wish they had been included in that sense. But who knows, maybe straying from the path isn't that big of a deal, since they do appear in most other episodes. But anyways, that's it for my Pokemon Sun and Moon episode 100 review. Thank you so much for watching. Join me next time for episode 101. Until then, if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.